Yeah. Come on. Rush camp. A nigga stay dipped, got 20 fucking bottles and you can't get a sip. Cause I love getting chips and I love flipping bricks, got no love for a bitch. A nigga stay dipped, got 20 fucking bottles and you can't get a sip. Cause I love getting chips and I love flipping bricks, got no love for a bitch. Nigga pop more bottles than you ever gon' get. Nigga fuck more models than you ever gon' hit. Cause James Flames is the shit, hit it right out the park, I don't need no mitt. Whole stick I'm stuck up by the watch and the gear. Gotta sip the shit slow, bitch, it ain't no beer. Cause I ain't no queer, your boy got 20 racks in my motherfucking ear. Talking big racks, make shit move. Ain't got a job, don't fuck up my groove. I remember when I couldn't even buy a pair of shoes. Now I got so much bread, I ain't never gon' lose. Got my shit on cruise, I ain't never gon' speed. Cause I roll with the Glock, I'll make a nigga bleed. I put it on my seat when I'm breaking up the weed. And you groupie ass bitches ain't sipping with me. A nigga stay dipped, got 20 fucking bottles and you can't get a sip. Cause I love getting chips and I love flipping bricks, got no love for a bitch. A nigga stay dipped, got 20 fucking bottles and you can't get a sip.
Yeah, look.
Cause I love getting chips and I love flipping bricks, got no love for a bitch.
Orange whip just like Syracuse. 415s when I pull up, I'm scaring dudes. Sitting on a new pair of shoes. Swag game even got them squares, not scared to choose. Turn up to the max, nigga. Shirt off so they can see the E-murder on my back, nigga. Riding in my lack, nigga. Blowing kush, popping bottles, stay strapped, nigga. And I'm the best that ever do it, bitch. Just like Wayne said, you the best at never doing shit. We pop bottles of rosé. I stay with them Dolce, Chanel shades. I'm getting more pay. And these hoes don't know I'm only in the game for the change, it's so cold. A nigga stay dip, you should see my fucking whip. Got 20 fucking bottles and you can't get a sip.
A nigga stay dipped, got 20 fucking bottles and you can't get a sip. Cause I love
RushCampENT.com. That's where you can find us at all day. I'm a real ass nigga, he's a fake one. Pull up in that white van like Jake one. And disperse all my shots out the 40-40. Like I told y'all before, no nuts, no glory. I be bagging hella bitches like my cousin Corey. If I crack a bad bitch, I'll tell you the story. I knock nice hoes with nice toes. Cinderella slippers, maybe some lipo. I don't know, but these bitches get a lot of dough. I got that gutter swag mixed with that Prada flow. I'm on top of my game, don't sleep on me. I've been down for a minute, but I'm back on it. I'm riding big like the niggas in the monster trucks. We looking good and you niggas looking like clucks. You looking smoked up like burning rubber in a cutlass. You niggas lame and we be the motherfuckers. We in the spot, we trapping like them A niggas. We getting jugs, them bitches be like, hey nigga, want you tooted, but then after that I'ma boot it. He race it hot and the rest of you niggas is coolin'.
Rebel, I'm hotter than hot. I ignite blocks. I'm wanted by the cops. Pull up in the drop, already drop top. I crush bitches' feelings like a soda pop. They telling me to stop, but I don't think so. One high low to the head will make them think slow. Or a couple to the lungs, make them breathe slow. Easy, shoot a nigga quick like a free throw. Blacktober nigga, we ain't never sober nigga. Looking like Killer Cam in a purple Rover nigga. Far from the finish line, it ain't near over nigga. Exercise, stretch shit like soda nigga. Yeah, I'm up deep like Prodigy. Grew up a gangster, my mama ain't proud of me. I get money, big big up to the cane sniffers. And shout out to the real, not the lame niggas. Nigga kinda eating good, cause it chain bigger. I drop bomb, call me Red Hussein, nigga. And all hundreds in my pocket, no change, nigga. I'm in the industry and still ain't changed, nigga. Yeah. Bad day. I guess I'ma be bad forever. It's real. Yeah. Doesn't make me a bad guy, cause I can't get a job and my family's hungry. Am I a bad guy? Cause I'm hustling daily and I'm trying to eat. So that makes me a bad guy. And I know that it's wrong, but it's feeling too right. I'm a bad guy, cause if getting money's wrong, I don't wanna be right. I got a felony, it's hard to get a job now. Plus I got a family I need to provide for, that I'll die for, give up an eye for. And why settle for 3 when you can have 4? Or why settle for less when you can have more? I'm trying to own my own corner, build my own store. With bread like bakery, niggas hating me. And I keep the heat, get it in the first degree. Can't get hired, so I'm forced to rob niggas. And them getting money's wrong, well I'm the wrong nigga. And plus I got mouths to feed, trying to have a big house, a few balconies. I'm a whole key, you ain't even an ounce to me. So stop trying, you're never gonna amount to me. Doesn't make me a bad guy, cause I can't get a job and my family's hungry. Am I a bad guy? Cause I'm hustling daily and I'm trying to eat. So that makes me a bad guy. And I know that it's wrong, but it's feeling too right. I'm a bad guy, cause if getting money's wrong, I don't wanna be right. If my pocket's empty, I'ma rob something. I'ma beat you like you stole something, and wouldn't let a nigga hold nothing. Get money, that's the only subject. And I take a nigga's whole profit. You got more, I'ma take yours. In your car if it's some force, I pull kick doors. And way before we had a black president, I was taking TVs out your residence. And I can't get a 9 to 5, but I keep a 9 on my side and you can catch 5. And I got a whole 9 and I move like 5. An I-5 in my 15 to 8. It's a 8:45, I'm pushing that weight. Always be late, but I'm on time, getting that cake. Try to jack me, bang right in your face. No, that's a one-way ticket to the pearly gates. Doesn't make me a bad guy, cause I can't get a job and my family's hungry. Am I a bad guy? Cause I'm hustling daily and I'm trying to eat. So that makes me a bad guy. And I know that it's wrong, but it's feeling too right. I'm a bad guy, cause if getting money's wrong, I don't wanna be right. I got a felony.
Pull up. Pull up. Smash that like button. Sometimes I'll be digging in the crate. Sometimes I'll be digging in that crate, man. What is going on, my fellas? Let me see. Hold up. Let me get some medium. Constant pressure. What up, man?
What up, Buck?
Oh,
Salute.
man, we got a good topic today, man.
Yes, sir.
We got a good topic. This one I always want to know. Man. It's a 2-part question. And then we'll get into the chat. But why do people use the term breeder in a negative connotation And why do people think it's a flex to say that they don't sell pups? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Maybe it is a flex. Maybe, maybe being a breeder is a bad thing. I'm just here for the conversation. I just want to set that ground rule, that right there. Because sometimes just because I'm the guy that wants to have the conversation,
For sure.
I'm the bad guy, right? I'm the
No doubt.
fucking bad guy. So before I turn into the bad guy, like that song right there, um, I just wanted to put my disclaimer on it. You know what I'm saying? But no, we just cook on it, man. What up, Hard and Finish? Bloodthirst in the building. Salute. Bank statement. Black Bottom Kennels in the building. Salute, my brother. Hey, let's get in here, man. Let's hit the like button. Let's get this algorithm going. We do pop-ups. We don't got no scheduled time. I mean, obviously, we just get up and either we're gonna go live or we're gonna do something else. You know what I'm saying? So smash the like button, throw a dog a bone, support the channel. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Why do people use the term breeder negatively? And why do people think it's a flex to say that they don't sell pups? Because I hear it all the time. Like people just talk to me in a regular conversation, and it's like, I don't sell no pups. So that's like, I ain't no breeder. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, and then, I ain't trying to clown, because like I said, if you're not a breeder, you're not a breeder. You do what you want to do with your dogs. Everything's whatever it is. We can do whatever. You can get out of the game today and come back 20 years later. You do as you please. But I just want to know why it's like that.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to all the people pushing the breed in a positive light, man. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us this morning. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's a big salute. Hey, man, I look at it like this. Um, it's just from day one. That's the narrative. Let me step inside here. So since day one, that's the narrative that they're gonna push. Not even people who are just in our dogs, just in the world in general. You know, they're gonna radical kill the people who are breeding dogs because everybody wants you to go adopt one from the shelter. You know,
Mm,
and they think that that's the answer to stray dogs and this and this and that, and saving a puppy and saving a pooch. But at the same time, is the real breeders should be respected and cherished because we're seeing all of these breeds really fall off of their standard. Because there aren't people that are dedicating their lives to it like they used to. There's not as many, you know what I mean, who's serious about it, and you, we see what it takes to build families of dogs. It takes years and years of hard work from people who are willing to put in that work and dedicate their lives. So um, that's the narrative that they're gonna push from the beginning. How I look at it. That breeders are bad. And for the people who are in the dogs and they're just buying puppies and they're saying, "Oh, we don't breed dogs." Most of the times, they're just saying that so to make you believe that they're not going to peddle your stuff.
mm.
Make you
Mm.
believe they're not going to peddle your stuff, but they all have their plans when they come and get dogs from you. They all know what they're going to do already, even before they even figure the dogs out. Most of them. So you got to watch out for those people too. Yeah, so yeah, I look at it different ways, man. So it can get a little tricky when it comes to these dogs. You know, still people will tell you to do it one way, and then the whole time they'll be doing it the way that you wanted to do it, but told you to do it another way, just to throw you off, set you back. You know, so you got to watch out for those people. I've seen
Yeah,
it
no, you
done
really do.
blatantly. I've seen it done blatantly. I say, man, woo woo woo. Has that been working good for you, man? No, man, you gotta take those dogs to such and such to such and such. And throw you all the way off.
Wow.
And then the whole time got a whole breeding program being based behind it. You know what I mean? So don't listen to those people, man. Just keep on doing your own thing, man. That's what I'd say. Um, they gonna always ridicule people who's doing more than them. You know, them is the people who's always gonna be talked about as breeders. Oh, this some of the greatest dog men in the world. They call peddlers and everything else. So, you know we got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
We got a whole lot more talking for them to conversation for them to create about us. You know, we just getting started.
Yeah, you
So
know, they're gonna think of something. We was doing something to the I don't know. It's gonna be
yeah,
something that we did with these dogs
yeah,
that was not, you know, ethical, I guess, or whatever they call it.
yeah.
Bub Johnson, what up, brother? 601, what up? Salute everybody. GMB Rocco. Everybody in the building. Yeah, man. What do you think the idea came from that real dog man don't sell pups? Where do you think that idea came from? Like, I don't know, man. It might be another time for another myth buster or something, you know, because that will definitely be one of them, you know. I mean, I hear it all the time, dudes. It's like it gives you a little bit extra credibility or something. Hold on, let me let my guy 7-8 weigh in. 7-8, what up, brother?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Oh man, cooling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What y'all cooking on, bro?
Yeah, I was talking about people using the term breeder in a negative connotation, and then they say, like, I don't sell pups is like a flex, though. You know, like, you know, I don't sell pups. I know you probably heard that a dozen times,
Yeah, for
million
sure.
times, you know, and I'm just, even though that's like a non-significant topic, but you know, it's definitely I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that, man? Talk to us.
Me personally, it's a myth. It's a corny myth to me. Like, we all know, you know, all dog men has had a certain amount of respect and love for admiration for Maurice Carver. Maurice Carver sold more dogs than anybody. Kobe sold dogs. All the dog legends, the men in what's up 601, all the legends sold dogs. Now they might not have had a puppy mill where they just breeding everything to everything and just selling the puppies. They might not have been doing that, but you know, if people who say that real dog men don't sell dogs, if that's the case, you wouldn't have no dog. But none of us had dogs. If the so-called real dog men decided, hey, we're gonna keep this on my yard, the breed will be trash right now. There will be no genetic diversity really. And I think nowadays for people who say that they don't sell dogs, either you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, or you don't want your stuff off your yard so you can keep your lies and your myths going to yourself. But once you start moving them dogs off the yard, then the product gonna speak for itself. So it's easy for people to say, I don't sell dogs, I don't sell dogs. Yeah, your dog probably ain't shit either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Yeah, your dog probably like that's cool to say, you know what I mean? But that don't mean nothing. That don't mean that because you keep your dogs on your yard that they better. It's somehow some top secret. No, that's not how that works. That ain't how that works, man. But you know, some people do keep their dogs, and they got the space for that. They got they got everything set up to where they can keep a whole litter of pups, change spots and all that, and they want to see which pups are going to turn out to be the best. And more power to everybody who can steal bulldog like that. You know what I'm saying? But the average person can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Can't move like that. Bad enough you walk your dog down the street for a piss. Some nosy, hateful motherfucker talking about some. Is that a pit bull? That's a dangerous dog, isn't it? Please, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was cooking on this a little bit yesterday because I jumped in. I heard, we was just chopping it up just casually. I'm working on this volume 3, and I butted in, and I was like, I basically said, because this is my experience. Of course, I can't speak for somebody else's experience, but I remember not breeding and the service that I got, right? It's kind of like waiting in the line at the club. I'm not saying that waiting in the line is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? There's been times where one of my partners invited me out and, he didn't have no juice. You feel me?
Right.
He go to this club, they don't even know him. And I'm not trying to sound bougie. Do you feel what I'm talking about? 7-8?
Yeah, I understand.
Have you ever felt like that? Like, you go to this club, motherfucker don't know nobody. You got to wait in line, all this bullshit. Wouldn't you rather just go to the one where the guy see you walk up and he's automatically like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's where I feel more welcome. So so you're not breeding. You can't keep the male. Oh, I'm keeping the female. I'm keeping the red one. I'm keeping the black one. I'm keeping the, all of this. Oh, such and such. Oh, you got to wait till next litter. And, it's just, you're getting shoved around, bro. I'm going to be real. You can get some good breeders that a lot of times it's after they've already kind of formulated their shit. And, now it's time to, let people get some of these great pieces. But it's going to be hard for you to really get the hand selection like when you're breeding your own stock, because when I'm breeding my own stock, it's like I own the club now. It's not, the shoes on the other foot. That breeder's dog ain't no better than my dog, theoretically. Like I had the same capabilities in the studies that I do. I'm at my house. Everybody got their shit. Some niggas collect pennies. Some, we all do our shit great, whatever the fuck it is. It can't nobody say they don't. But for me to be able to pick through everything I want and be at the front of the line and tell other people that they can't get the female, not being mean. I'm not saying none of the dog men were mean at what they were doing. Like, they're keeping the female. Is one bitch in the whole litter,
Right.
So, I just think being in that position it's been better for me. I've been able to get better dogs. I think the dogs that I bred are better than the dogs that I bought. Not all of them, of course. Not all of them. They all ain't gonna be better. But for the most part, if you look at my establishment or whatever, I got going on, the dogs that I really talk about, besides Michael Myers, I bred them motherfuckers. I got to pick through them. I wasn't at the back of the line. So I just don't think that that's a negative thing. And if somebody can fool you to thinking that, you know, and it might be some old dog man shit. You know, we might have to throw the Mythbusters up. You know, this might be some old ass dog man shit to keep motherfuckers buying more dogs and shit. You know, seen people run through yards of dogs. You know, like
Right.
It's like what you wouldn't breed, like you just blew through 20,000. You know, like you could have bred the dogs and got the same trash that you just blew through. You know,
Right.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me, you know, and there's a lot of problems that come with breeding too. Especially if you're selling dogs to the public. I get it. Some people just don't want to deal with it, and they just, I don't sell dog because they don't want to deal with the problems that comes with that. I can understand that. That's why I'm on both sides of the fence. I just thought it'd be a good topic, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I enjoy the yards that keep the yard tight and they don't really let a lot of this stuff go, because if you're ever looking for it, you know where you can get it at. You know what I'm saying? Tight. You know what I'm saying? You know they'll sell one. Everybody will sell a dog. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of some people who don't want to sell their dogs. You can tell by the price they're asking for it, because they really don't want you to buy the dog. But for that price, they will sell a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand people like that, and I like them kind of yards, because you know, like, okay, ain't nobody gonna have all this. If I mix this with some of mine, ain't nobody gonna have this, because I know he don't really give his stuff out. But at the same time, too, I have no problem with people who got good dogs, and the dogs are worthy to be bred, and they breeding them. And I mean, that's just gonna keep the dogs alive. You know, more people who got them, that's just gonna keep them alive. You know what I mean? At least that's just my opinion.
Right. I'm all about the people who's doing it at the highest level, you know, as a community, supporting them, you know what I mean? And people who've really been dedicated to it, you know, as a community, getting on board with those type of people, you know, and start pushing those type of people so it don't have to, the backyard breeder doesn't get thrown in there and get celebrated on accident, you know, because that's happening a lot, you know. Those breeders who don't do it
Yeah.
right, you know what I mean? They're getting an opportunity to be able to say they did something too, you know. And
Right.
I think that's messing up the game, because now it's giving the game a black eye, and it's making, you know, everybody think that everybody in the dog game is just, you know, in it to peddle and make money and stuff like that, you know. So shoot, it just starts with us for real. We start setting the example of what a breeder should look like. You know what I mean? The and we got great examples already. You know, so you know, just pay attention. You'll see what it takes to be a great breeder. You know, and then if anybody do talk negative towards you about breeding your dogs too, what can they say? You got a great example in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So,
This leads me to another question. Do you think people confuse responsible breeding with puppy peddling?
Absolutely. I think you know, people listen, first of all, in these dogs, especially in our dogs, well, in all the dogs in general, once you have your first litter, or you do your first breeding, people gonna start acting funny anyway, because it's a competitive market. Some people are in this thing just to sell puppies and shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck if the dog is should have been bred or none of that. If the dog got faults or nothing, they just want to, you know, puppy output. You know what I mean? But so that happens. But I think people are definitely confusing the peddling of somebody who just gets some dogs. Like I just said, they're not checking the dogs. They're not, whatever your standard of checking them is, you're not doing none of that. You just want to breed them to get some puppies on the ground and constantly have a flow of puppies coming in. You know what I mean? So they are confusing it. But my thing, I'm not hating. I'm just want to make that very clear. I don't be hating on people, bro. But I hate these kind of conversations because for some reason, and I mean this with no hate, man. Why is it that Tom Garner can sell as many dogs he wants to, and then when anybody else sell a fucking dog, like niggas gotta get on his level or what the fuck is he doing? I ain't no disrespect to him, but like, bro, like why he don't get the puppy peddler title and shit? But a nigga do one breeding and he a peddler somehow. Man, whatever, bro. I don't even want to sound like no hater, so I'm gonna be quiet.
I think
No,
for me,
that's valid, bro. Come
for
on,
me, I
go
think
ahead,
the difference
cuz.
is, brother. I'm sorry. For me, I
No, you
think the
got it. You got
difference
it.
is that Tom Garner done put in that work for so many years to be able to do what he do today, or do what he do. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
What does he
somebody
do
who's
though?
just getting dogs from people and just blowing up the market with somebody else's hard work. I think that's the definition of what they call in the peddling. You know what I mean? Don't have no real
Mm.
understanding of what they got, but just other than what they see on the paperwork. You know what I mean? Um, I think Tom's got a good understanding. You know what I mean? And those type of people got a good understanding of what they've been doing. So, you know, they should be the ones who be able to sell puppies like that. Should be able to be the go-to people. You know, that's just my opinion, though. You know.
Mm. So do you think a smaller breeder, let's say you got a small yard, do you think, and then you had like 150 dogs or some crazy shit, like, do you think that you could home in on the traits and the desired thing that you want out of these dogs easier with a big yard, like over 100, or just say a little small yard with like 12 or 15?
For sure, I think it gets more personal when you got a small yard and you're able to take your time a little bit more. You know, when you got those big yards, you got to rush. You rushing those dogs to get them in those woods to hunt those hogs. You might be putting them out there a little early. You know what I mean? When you got those small yards and you taking your time to build, I think you got a better understanding and better vision to be able to create. You know what I mean? So
Right. Well, that would kind of, well, in a way, a little contradictory, because like how
yeah.
how could he be possibly putting out his best
hmm
work if he's got that many dogs
hmm
or that making that many breedings? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got
Like
you. I get
like
it.
let's be honest. He'll make, like, every breeder that we talk about is a good breeder and shit. There's some dudes
Yeah.
that Tom Garner will take you down in 1 year. You see what I'm saying? Like
hmm
he'll do what, I'm serious. Like what 70% of every breeder has ever done in the history of this game. Tom Garner has bred more dogs than his ass in 1 fucking year. So you mean to tell me that this guy is General Motors or some shit? Like, these dogs, like, come on, bruh. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But it's
That's
just like that.
crazy
Like
work, bruh.
it's just like that, bro. When you're the top at it, when you've been the top of anything and you've been doing it for longer than everybody, and you're gonna have more cars on the market.
But a
You're gonna
pedigree,
ship your cars
but a
all
peddler,
overseas.
let's
You know
let's
what
go
I'm
back to the definition of peddler. We got to go back to the definition, right? That's low quality goods. Like, you're selling low quality goods. And if
And
you just throwing out 100 litters a year, dog,
them percentages is horrible.
He going
bro, like,
crazy.
let's see. We got to stop this, bro. I'm glad we got on this subject. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Book say they gotta stop that.
Because I'm confused. Like it
Yeah,
says,
cool.
do you think people confuse responsible breeding with puppy peddling? And we could just say that this guy's shit don't stink. Like, oh, this motherfucker, he wake up, he just shit don't stink. Like, And cause that's kind of how dudes be putting them on that pedestal and shit.
They do. They definitely do put them on that pedestal. And I never,
You see what I'm saying?
I never
And I'm not
understood
hating.
why.
I'm just in this shit.
About,
Critique my shit. You know,
right.
go ahead.
It's not about hating on him or nothing like that. Because he definitely a legend. He definitely earned his stripes and stuff like that, whatever. And a lot of people got good dogs off of him, but it's hellfire people that they try to build a whole yard around that, and nothing clicked for him, right? And it's a lot of people like that. So what I'm saying is, if he can sell puppies at that rate every year, constantly, just boom, 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 and then we might hear about 2 of them in the next 5 years, right? That's like I mean, them fucking horrible percentages. Who's more dangerous? What he doing, or the dude in his backyard that got a good male and a good female, and he bred them up for 3 times his whole life? Now, I don't know. That's a catch-22 there.
Yeah, sure. I think I just look at it like shit. If Floyd and anybody else was still able to do it like him, like those are the people who should be able to do it. Like that's just my opinion, you know. Like them motherfuckers done did so much. Like what else is there for them to do other than sell puppies? You know what I mean? Like they time is over with. They've already been in the spotlight for so long. You know what I mean? Like that's all they got to do.
But
now.
when we need a dog, though, like, okay, that's fine. My grandpa is done. You know, he's fucking, you know what I'm saying? But when I need a quality, right? Yeah, I know nostalgic, you know, yeah, that's grandpa and shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we got to be honest with ourselves at this point. You know, like if you just breeding a whole bunch of dogs, and I'm not trying to get in people's business of what they do, but logical is logical. You know what I'm saying? Like how many of them motherfuckers are really good dogs and how many of them are not? How many of them are just there just because they're making ends meet? And because that's what people do. You know, they get a whole bunch of dogs. Oh yeah, I'm keeping 2. You know, and it's just breed. You know, that bitch come in heat, breed. And people don't pay attention to this, right? People, I get it. People don't pay attention to that bitch is young as fuck. You got 100 dogs, but you're breeding young bitches. Oh, how do you know that? Because I pay attention. I know when that breeding was done. You feel me? I'm not saying him. I'm saying that's what people do. So at that point, does that breach this whole standard shit that we talking about? Or does that even fucking matter? And then, so I can't do that. I can't just go get a whole bunch of just some shit from with a pedigree on it and just slap that shit together and, you know, not be called a peddler. But because a motherfucker been doing this shit for years, it's okay. I'm confused.
Hey, I've been asking that same question for a while, bro. I don't get it, man. But yeah.
But you know, hey man, that's why I like these shows, man. They crank it up a little bit.
But you know, some people were saying stuff about Pat Patrick. Like me personally, I thought Pat Patrick put out some of the best dogs ever. And, you know, but people be like, "Oh, Pat Patrick, he never was out there matching, and he didn't do this." I'm like, well, that wasn't his job. His job was to look at a dog and determine whether that dog was ready to be bred. And everybody on this panel or in the chat, I'm sure at some point, they had some Pat Patrick shit in their pedigree. So it's like, I never understood how people was hating on him. But, you know, it's always going to be a disconnect from.
Well, I get it. If you're talking about that perspective, like, okay, this blood is what it is, curs and all. You know, I want the curs and all. Just this is the blood right here, motherfucker. Come on. You know, like, I get it. If that's the jug, I just didn't think that was ever an option. But obviously it is. You know, like when he said it. The percentages are terrible. You know, yeah, you get some little shit here or there, you know, historically, you know, we talking historically, you know, and that's not, nobody else gets that grace. You know, you sell one dog to a motherfucker, it ain't shit, bro. You're done. You know, nobody else gets this grace. Like I know dudes that bought 10 dogs and you know the motherfuckers didn't work out. You think like that's fake. Like I would think that's some fake ass statistics. I'd be like, bro, you lying. Right. But these motherfuckers were dead serious though. That's the cold as shit. And maybe you might not ever get to that level to where a motherfucker buy 10 dogs from you.
Yeah.
You know, but just imagine that. You know, you buy 10 dogs. That shouldn't be possible, dog. And then if they're good, why can't I just take them and breed them and create the same quality? That's why I haven't just hold out my shit like that, because I know that if I do that, people can breed my shit up and create the same fucking quality, because the shit is from producing stock. So you sell a gazillion dogs, and then I can't name 5 top kennels that run your shit. I get it. We don't think about this like it's a business. Sorry, buddy. I think about everything like it's a fucking business. You know, I don't give a fuck what it is. You know, I think about everything like it's a fucking business. You know, and that right there is why I'm out. That's a Shark Tank.
That's why I'm out.
And I ain't talking shit, dog. I'm just a podcast guy, bro.
Hey,
I'm just a podcast guy.
If I make it to 78 years old and I got 10 more years to stamp my legacy in this motherfucker, I'm gonna breed motherfucker as much as I want to.
But no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because he was doing that 20 years ago.
Right.
He was trying to put he's on a TV show saying that he sells a dog. I think it was off a Chinaman or something. He sells a dog every day for $500. He said, yeah, I sell a dog every day off a champion Chinaman, you know, on like a current affairs or some shit. You know, them little old ass TV shows.
Only bloodlines that are still surviving are the people of the ones that people call peddlers.
And then we see Frisco. I saw a video with this dog, and he was, how can I put this? He was screechingly scary, bro. He was a scary. Look, I'm gonna just tell you what he looked like. He looked like a scary mutt. And we're talking about back in those days and then we always say the old days. I like when these old motherfuckers get up here, because I blast their ass. Because there was plenty of bootlicking, low-level motherfuckers back then. Just keep any goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Taking people's curves at the box. Hey, man, you gonna keep that? Like a motherfucker in jail trying to get your cupcake off your fucking tray before you even sit down.
Right.
30 years ago, 40 years ago. I'm just a guy that's an asshole and calls it out. That's why people don't like Buck City. You know, I'm just an asshole, but that shit was going on. What are we fucking talking about? We always act like these old motherfuckers, bro, they didn't take care of their kids and all kind of shit. Deadbeats. All these motherfuckers, man. Come on, man. Half of these motherfuckers, the biggest accomplishment they ever made was with dogs. Get the fuck out of here, man. That ain't no man. That's a motherfucking sucker. You know? And if the shoe fit, wear it. My thing, that's my thing. You know, I take care of my fucking kids. You know, I don't even let my kids go to daycare or nothing. You know, well, when's the first day of school? Okay, he'll be ready. Okay, that's me. So, can't nobody say I don't take care of mine. I take more pride in that than these motherfucking mutts. That's for goddamn show.
I hear that.
So, nah, we just cooking, man. I love these talks, man. I'm glad you brothers, you know, pulled up on me so I could vent, you know.
Oh, hell yeah, I hear you.
Already talk that shit. Talk that shit.
But it's a debate. It go both ways, you know, and then we could look at it like, because I'm rooting for dudes that breed 2 breedings and get called a peddler. You know, man. You do 5 breedings, now you a peddler. How is that? That's crazy shit. And we got motherfuckers doing 500 breedings. You go to their website right now, they got 35 fucking litters ready to go right now. You want to get one puppy from each, you could probably do that today and drive off with the motherfucker. So not even to mention the 20 bitches that's pregnant, not to mention the dogs that's 6 weeks and under, that's not even on the website, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, dog. We just got to keep it 1,000 all the way across the board, bro. Them dogs, to me, them dogs should be to where I could go anywhere and get that shit, because that's the way you sold it. You sold out. That's called selling out. You sold as much of that shit to where a motherfucker could live right next door to you and undercut your ass. And if them dogs was that good, you would not have to go back to Tom Garner, period. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. I know about genetics. I've been breeding for 30 fucking years. And I'll debate his ass. I'll debate his ass about these topics, about these percentages, okay? Mayday Dogs was going for $2,500 back in 2002. Garner shit was going for $600, $800. You know, I'm gonna ask him that. Okay? All dog men didn't worship him back then. They didn't. I'm not, you know, they worship him now, but all dog men did not worship that dude back then, like a lot of these young dudes think.
But who's the source of the Mayday stuff today?
Who's the source of the Mayday stuff? Man, listen, I talked to a guy this morning before I got on here. We've been chopping it up all week. Good brother. He's got Cruzan's Monster on ice and Champion Big Head Boy, a son of Barracuda, the Macho Bucks Littermate sister. I just think there's too much of that good shit still around, dog.
Right.
Seriously.
But the people who were the source back then aren't the people who are necessarily the source today, right?
It's a lot of close-knit people. I like to think that I was in there. West Coast Bad Boy, that's like my brother, you know. Sure. So I like to think that I was still connected, and I like to think that there's a lot of other guys like me. It might be like a generation removed from Victor, but was directly connected and saw those dogs multiple. I seen at least directly off Mayday. I seen at least, and this ain't a lot. Some people probably seen triple this, but I seen at least 9 or 10. Is that fair? Right. Directly off of them, though. Directly off the nuts.
Well, my point,
9 or 10 of them.
My point is that they didn't last. Those people who were the source then, the direct sources, they didn't last into this generation. They didn't. Like
a lot of them didn't.
You know what I mean?
A lot of them didn't.
He lasted through generations of this.
Hey, Buck, I get ready for my show. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute.
Hey, appreciate you, 7-8.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they didn't last through generations like a Tom Gardner or a Floyd Bujo or a, you know what I mean, like, or somebody like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got
It's a lot of ways that you could look at it. You know, like when you talk about building your own family of dogs, you know, or even sticking to somebody else's recipe and staying tight to that. You know what I mean? You talk about a lot of people being the new faces of today. You know what I mean? Like there's got new faces of these things and stuff, but you still got those certain people and that you can barely stamp. Like there's some stuff out there that like you can barely get. It's not like those big name old school dog men. You can barely get that stuff pure like that anymore. You can barely get, you know what I mean? So when I look at like a Tom Garner, I see somebody who's lasted some generations, you know what I mean, and who should be able to do it whatever way they want to do it at this point, you know what I mean? Just like it when we get to that point to where we ain't got no nothing to prove anymore, and we ain't got nothing else to do, you know, we can do it that way. You know, especially if we do it and we setting a good example and we got the kennel set up and the dog's looking good, thriving, boom, boom, boom. It's a good example. You know what I mean? You know, that's just where I'm coming from, brother. That's
Well,
all.
nah, they're gonna keep buying them, then you got to keep breeding them. I get it. What up,
You know?
schoolboy?
Hey, what's happening? How's
What's going
everybody doing?
on? Hey, we
Same old,
you know,
same
we
old.
just chopping it up, man. I just thought
Cool
that
boy in the house, sir, brother.
a lot of people
What's
give
happening, brother?
breeder, they put the tag breeder, they use it in a negative connotation. And to say you don't sell pups, they use that like a flex. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where the topic is. Then we kind of breaking it down, talking, you know, some different stuff. But now you free to
Yeah,
go.
yeah. The puppy peddler thing is probably coined by somebody who's a peddler. You know, calling everybody else a peddler,
Right.
or is someone who really didn't sell that many dogs. But there's very very few people in the history of the breed that didn't sell dogs, whether they did it early or wait till they retire or something like that. I mentioned my protege before. He don't sell dogs, but he has sold dogs. But as a general rule, he don't do it. But everybody. I didn't sell that many dogs, but I sold some, gave some away like that. My thing was whether I sold them or gave them away. The reason I did it is because I wanted to see how my dogs did in other people's hands, not just my own.
Mm.
Right? And
Yeah.
some people they might sell because they get in a spot where they need some money, or they sell the dog so far away that it's not going to come back on them, and they have to go into their own stuff or they have to deal with their own shit. There's different reasons, but like I said, there's very few people. Bob Wallace didn't sell dogs, but there's some people who got dogs from him, one or two or three, whatever it is. Very few, but they get old and and they want to preserve their stuff sometimes with it. Could be a protege, a friend, could be a stranger who likes that blood, somebody who puts in time with them.
Most of those people, you can't even find that stuff no more.
No, because they didn't
That,
breed that many dogs anyway.
yeah,
That's another
that
thing. They
that
don't,
was the
if you,
downfall of living like that. I'd say,
yeah, you
you know,
lose it. And then some people like Komisinski, they had all their dogs destroyed when they died.
wow,
He made, they've written about that.
yeah,
That's what I know people that say they're going to do that, but maybe they will, maybe they won't. When you get older, sometimes you change your mind.
hmm
But it's just, it's that peddler. Peddler is I don't know the specific definition, but it's basically someone who sells stuff. They peddle
that's
it off
all.
to anybody. It doesn't have to be a bad thing,
Hmm
although in our world it's looked at as a bad thing. But it's just someone who sells whatever they got to anybody, whoever's got the money.
Whoever,
Yeah,
and
and I think
will buy dogs just to sell them.
yeah, and for me, it's if you don't have a program, if you don't have a reason for doing everything that you do, other besides making money, then you're a peddler.
Definitely.
Because there's people that do that. They buy dogs and they breed them, real young or whatever. They want when you hear keywords, phrases like I need to get a return on my investment. I need to make back some of this money I spent. I put a lot of money into this. I need to get some of it back. That's not a good reason to have dogs.
Definitely. If you just sit there and you think about how much money you put in and how much money you get back, it doesn't add up. So that
No,
shouldn't
you're
even
never
be a
gonna
reason.
you're
That sh-
never even gonna break even.
that shouldn't even be a reason, you know.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's I think you broke it down perfect. You know, I say that's the
Yeah.
exact definition of a peddler. You know, because even when I breed, you know, my first thing is, hey, how many can I keep for myself, and how many can I give away to my close friends? You know what I mean? Then after
Right.
that, if there's something left, okay. You know what I mean? So that's the different mindset right there.
But see, that goes to the beginning when I was like, it's more of a flex to not sell, right? That's
Well,
basically what that is, and it's like
some look at it like that.
well,
Yeah, you know,
if you listen to the way
like
he said
I'm
that,
better than you because I don't sell dogs. That's
right?
bullshit too.
That's kind of what it seems like to not
Yeah.
the way it comes out as a whole. It's
Yeah.
like you're better if you want to tilt the scale.
Mhm.
The more positivity about what you just said was leaning toward you not getting rid of any dogs
Mhm. Well,
more
yeah, but I
than
mean, and,
being
and I,
proud to breed and sell a dog. Like, you know,
right, exactly,
that's not
because it's
what you're
like
proud of. You're proud of you being able to keep them and give them to your homies. You're
right,
not
because
proud
that's
of
part of
you
understanding them.
selling
You
it.
know what I mean? If you just selling them, you not getting no understanding of them. So it's like, what are you doing? You know,
Well,
and what are
you
you
just
doing it
said
for?
Garner though. If Garner just selling them, you know
Shit,
what I'm
he didn't.
saying?
He put. I said he put in his work for many years. He done understood his line of dogs for many years, and he just got to a point to where that's all there is to do now. He, you know what I mean? He been in the spotlight for so long that it's like, shoot, sell dogs. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't get in trouble for that. You know what I mean?
Let's look at the general definition. A person that goes place to place selling small goods, often in a casual or informal way. Historically, a peddler might sell door to door at fairs or on the streets. Slang, negative connotation, someone who breeds and sells dogs or any animal purely for profit without care for quality, health, or future of the bloodlines. In a sense, a peddler is looked down on because they are seen as chasing money instead of preserving the breed.
Mm,
So in the
The
APBT
definition
community,
says that.
mm.
yeah, this is
Okay.
one of those AI joints. They just, you know, they
Okay.
dig up a bunch of the best shit that they could
Yeah.
find and smack it
That was
all in
nice,
one.
Okay.
AI.
Well, that's pretty accurate.
So in the APBT community context, a peddler is someone who pushes out pups for cash without standard, no care for history, no vision for the breed. So under those guidelines, if we just want to use those and maybe add a few more, can you have vision for the breed if you're pumping out, let's say, 40 litters a year? Do you have vision for the breed?
I don't know, man. That's a lot of
Well, you
when
know,
you
I
say
paid my
vision.
dues. Let's say
What?
I paid my
Yeah.
dues, but I'm pumping out 40 litters a year. Like, let's do the math. What's
Yeah.
that like? 3-4
Well,
litters a month. All right, let's hike it up
four
to
times 5 is 20, so 200 pups a year, just the average.
so do you at that point, do you have vision for the breed? That's my question. And the chat can weigh in. Anybody can weigh in.
Vision in what respect? Like for me, you can't keep track of all them dogs.
Right.
You just putting them out there. There's no way to keep track of them because that's not just a one-time thing. It would be hard to keep track of 200 dogs that you let go if
Period.
you just did it once.
In a lifetime.
At this
Yeah.
at this point, it's
Yeah.
a tax write off, and we know that.
Yeah. Right. But
Hey,
yeah,
he's the
to
good
do it.
he's a good angel on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then there's this bad guy on the other side, you know. He's making light out of this shit. I like it. I like this convo, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, back to my question, because you guys kind of beat around the bush a little. But so can I breed, let's just say 240 pups a year and have vision for the breed? This is just a yes or no. Anybody in the chat, anybody on the panel. This is just, we're just breaking this shit down to the smallest molecule.
No.
We're going by this definition now.
Yeah. You can't look. You can't do that with thoroughbred racehorses, and they keep a hell of a lot better records than we do, and they only have one, sometimes rare cases, 2 offspring per litter once a year. But they have a ton of horses too. They got a shitload of horses.
Right.
So at some point, keeping track, keeping record, people will keep their individual records, but you know, it's kind of like if a horse don't work out, they don't think about it. It goes immediately to the dog food place, and it's just out of sight, out of mind. Same thing with game fowl. They couldn't tell you the name of the bird that lost last year, or 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or it's out of sight, out of mind. They focus on winning. They focus on the production.
Yeah.
And for me, when I say no, it's hard to keep track of those animals if you're putting them out there. You know, if you don't keep a record, which a lot of people don't, you got to keep meticulous records on every breeding you make, every litter you make, birth date, whelping date, breeding date, all this information about this singular pup, this pup, that pup, how many, what color, sexes, all that. I mean, it's easier now. You can just pump it into a computer. But back in the day, you had to write it all down. That's why I have over 100 pamphlets of that just with my dog. I never had more than 15 dogs. But most of the litters I bred, they're all written there. Even the behavior of the pups, how big they were, how much they weighed at this age. That's how involved it can get. And I know people don't do that.
So can you have a standard if you're breeding that many a year? Well, yeah. I mean, if you ain't looking at the dog, you ain't keeping track of them. So it's kind of hard to have a standard if you're not keeping track of the dog. That's my thing.
No, I think what they would say is you'd have a standard on the parents, the sire and dam, grandparents, okay. If your dog, your generations and all that. But each individual pup, there's no way.
So this I don't think somebody never bred before. She just, it's basically a shot in the dark, pretty much.
Yeah. Which it could work or it could not work. But the point is when you say the future of the breed, you'd have to ask that person, what do you expect the future of the breed to be like? What are you doing? Why are you breeding 240 puppies a year or 200? Well, what's the point? Because again, in my day, the reason I did it was to compete with them. That's the only reason I've mentioned it here before. That's the only reason I got involved. That's the only reason I did it. That's the only reason I wanted them for. All the other stuff is just, icing on the cake. Well, this one's a good house dog. This one's smart. I can take this one to town. This one, belongs to my kid. They have a companion, a protector, like that. That's just extra shit. That's not why I bred them. Right. I wouldn't have cared if they, as long as they weren't human aggressive. I don't care as long, if they were as dumb as a fucking rock, as long as they could do what they did, during the competition thing. But so, I mean, people breed what they want, whether you do it on a large scale or a small scale. Why are you breeding dogs? You want to leave something behind as your legacy. You want to continue with the breed. You want to improve it, perpetuate it. you just like pit bulls and you want other people to have them. There's a ton of different reasons why. I did a video on it. Like, why are you having them? Why do you do?
Hey,
People ask me,
game
why don't you
breaking.
have?
Game breaking.
People ask me, how come you don't have dogs anymore? For one, I can't have them. For two, I can't do what I used to do with them. So why am I going to have them?
Does
I
percentages
can't even
matter? Schoolboy?
Yeah.
Does percentages matter? Because is it obvious that you're gonna put some good ones on the ground if you're producing a ridiculously high volume of dogs?
Inevitable. It's almost a guarantee. But
It's a
when
guarantee,
you say,
right?
Yeah, it is. You could breed a shitload of curs. You're going to get one or two that are good,
Right.
and maybe game as hell, and maybe badass, killers, whatever. But when you say percentages, I don't want to breed, 10 dogs and get 5 good ones. That's crappy. I don't care if he's the baddest son of a bitch in history.
And a lot of people's not getting those. What you just said, a lot of people's not getting that. I'm gonna just put that out there. Like in today's age,
or champion and grand shit, whatever. Like champion.
If you get 5 out of 10, the shit, that's pretty good.
that's hella good.
Well, a lot of people.
Now you onto something.
Yeah, a lot of people. They probably breed 20 or 30 before they get a good dog. Like.
They
to
do.
me, those percentages are terrible. That's
they
all.
Are. They are. Even back then, there was 1 or 2 guys. They would only come out with exceptional dogs. But to get those exceptional dogs every once in a while, you can still win with an above average dog. There's other factors involved. And
a lot of dudes they like to shit on the new generation, and they try to I didn't want to ask a question because you said you go all the way back to 79 and the 70s basically, right?
Yeah.
So was there dudes like keeping curs and shit?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them
that for the sound bite, man.
Yeah. Some of them were guys that talked about it and wrote, I don't keep curs.
Right.
I would never keep a cur. I don't breed curs. Yeah, they would. They did. They forget, It's just like for the clout, or what did you call it? For the, you just mentioned it. What did you call it?
I can't remember.
Yeah. But it's basically for the clout,
Okay, yeah.
That I'm not like that. This guy did it, but there's very few that I never say, all the dogs I bred were freaking game as hell. What I say is none of the dogs I bred quit. How game were they? Game enough to my satisfaction. Some of them didn't survive to be bred, so that's a loss. But people say a lot of stuff, man, because you have a platform and how they look to other people. You just got to get to a point where you can't care what people say or about you or what they think.
Yeah, tunnel vision. Tunnel vision.
But what you can do is you can have a record, some type of record to back up what you say or to explain what you're talking about.
Right.
So in my new book, I give all my most of my breeding methods and all this and that. And there's examples of other people that did the same thing, and you can match record to record and, do some research. And we all didn't do everything the same, but a lot of it is just common. It's common with agriculture, livestock, game fowl, race horses, pit dogs, hunting dogs. They do different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey,
a
man,
lot
this
of
is
these
a good
old guys,
topic, man.
you can't take what they say as gospel because they understand. Hey, nobody can check. That was 40 years ago. Who's gonna know? Well, somebody knows, like me.
Yeah, nah, definitely. We just, always want to get a little bit of that knowledge. I'm not trying to crap on the old school, but a lot of the times because we can't go back there and the technology and every, you can
Yeah,
really make that place look really wonderful. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And it's like, come on, bro. I just be trying to make dudes get reality. Like it's a lot of the same shit going on, realistically.
yeah.
You know.
And like I said, if you research, you'll see it written in those old magazines and books. The
Yeah,
same shit we're saying today, they said 120 years ago.
right.
It's the same. It's something as simple as dead game, right? We've had debates. We talk about this and that. No, a dead game dog has to be dead, right? He has to
Right.
die and hold, or it's the last thing on his mind, or this and that. Everybody agrees just about, right? Well,
Okay.
you go back in the old books and magazines, they're advertising dead game dogs for stud.
Right. Right.
So what do they mean? They just basically mean he's a exceptional game dog, and in their mind, he would have took his death. That's all conjecture. That's all opinion. If you were there and you saw it, but they still advertise a dead game dog, and the some bitch still alive.
Right. Right.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. Even the competition side, everybody thinks, oh, everybody back there accepted it. A lot of people did. It was normal. It was common. Or they didn't. They just didn't care about it. That's what someone. Okay, it's a dog. They don't care. But they've you know uh, vilified the breed from the beginning. There's people that humaniacs, and whenever the SPCA started talking about how cruel it was, there's a negative report on the pilot and crib match. How cruel and bloody and all that shit it was. So nothing is new. It's just that, with today everything is instant and people can give their opinion and right away the information spreads immediately. That's the only difference. Took a couple of weeks for Custer's wife to find out he was dead because news travels slow,
Right.
and now it's instant bam like that.
Yeah, right away.
Yep. So sometimes that news is inaccurate. We see it all the time. No, that's not true. No, that didn't happen. No, that's a AI video. Like this, I seen what's that basketball girl? She's real tall. I forget her name.
Oh, the
Anyway,
Brittany
she's in the
Griner.
end. No, the other one.
She's in the league now.
Yeah. She's like up for MVP and stuff.
Asia Wilson.
No. Anyways, I don't know if this is AI or real or whatever, but before, it was either before or after the Crawford fight. She goes to say hi to Crawford and they're kissing each other.
Oh, that's what's her damn name? Angel Reese.
There you go, her.
Angel Reese.
Now, are they really together, or was that AI?
I think that was AI.
That's what I thought too, because I thought he had another girl, whatever.
Yeah, that's
but
what I thought.
People looking at that, they're gonna believe it. Oh, they're together.
Well, she online about she only like tall dudes.
I would guess.
That's
how women are.
I don't think.
Yeah, a woman could be 5 foot. A woman could be 5'2", and she wants a 6 foot man.
Exactly.
I want 6 foot, $100K a year, $500K a year, and
yeah,
that's another topic. But you
something
get the gist.
Never had, obviously.
Yeah.
And if she had it, why don't she still got it now?
Exactly.
Come
and
on.
why would Yeah, why would some guy in that position choose her? Right?
Exactly. What's the requisite measurements for why he
Yeah,
would choose you?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like the
He's
top
looking for. He's
15%
probably
of
looking
all men.
for. Yeah, yeah. He wants a supermodel and an educated, someone who has a doctorate or whatever. He's
Well, if you're
looking for
gonna get
something on his level.
if you're gonna get the top 15% of women, your shit's gonna have to be together.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that.
and it's only, I don't know, maybe 20% or something like that of men are 6 foot or taller in the United States. It's not what people
Women
think.
think she could just look good though.
Yeah,
If she looks
yeah,
good, she can get, the top 15%.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. And they talk about it all the time, but they're single.
She look good. You got to pay her
Yeah,
bills.
Ooh,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
cook.
yeah, man. And they don't have that type of person. There's nothing wrong with average. If you average, go after average. You can build from that.
Right.
Nah, I
It's,
got
listen,
lucky.
God is not gonna make a mistake so terrible to where he makes a person that's not aesthetically to the American eye or whatever, whoever's eye it is, the beauty standard. That's the trick about life. That young man, if you're listening to this, if you fuck with Buck City, I'm gonna teach you. But God's not gonna make the most pretty woman because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and that's what temptation and distraction is. It's out here. You're supposed to be distracted by shit. That's what makes you not as great as you can be. You feel me? Those are obstacles that you have to go through. Now, when you can dial in and not be distracted by that shit, that's when you're in your bag. So don't think that the prettiest woman is going to be the best genetically, raise the best kids, best nurturer,
There you
teacher,
go. Exactly.
she might have a fat ass, but she probably don't read books. You feel me? So she's not gonna teach your kids shit. And not in that category, or she doesn't know how to enroll in college, right?
Yeah.
So
Or
when
she's
your
not going
kid
to be a
time
good
for them to
mother
go
or
to
good,
college, you don't even know how to sign up,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Some didn't even graduate from high school because
In
they're
other
too
words,
focused.
guys,
They're too
find
focused
you a
on their
girl
body.
that got both of them.
You said what?
Yeah.
I said, in other words, find you a girl that got both of them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like mine.
Or someone that you got to find someone who has the same goals as you do.
For sure.
So me, for example, I've been married 40 years. We wanted kids off the get. That's what we wanted. We want kids. We want a family, future with them. I got to work. I want her to stay home with the kids. I don't want somebody else ready. Ain't sending them to fucking daycare. you know. So maybe in the beginning I don't make that much money. That's okay. We'll get by. Sometimes through our life she's made money, but I've always made money. And we raise kids. One of the things about your own success is how did your kids turn out? You want them better than you. So like my one daughter, she has 2 master's degrees. She's a teacher. My son went through trade school. My other daughter, she's worked in she does all kinds of shit, but she's worked in different businesses having to do with computers for years, right? And it ain't all perfect. It ain't all gravy. It ain't all success. But we've stuck together as a family. We help each other out. That was the whole thing from the beginning. Family, 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 family. Because I understood, because I went through it with my parents. You're going to need help. And someone you love is going to need help. You have to be able to provide that for them. And at some point, they have to come to your aid. That's how you get along, whether it's your sister babysitting your kid or your mother kicking in or father kicking in some money to help you out. And then when they get older, you return the favor. Go buy them groceries, buy them a car, make sure they're comfortable, like that. So it's just, what do you want to do with your life? What kind of girl do you want? The
That's
money
straight.
can come once you figure out how to make money. It's going to come hand over fist if you have a service to provide or you have something to sell that other people want. You'll never not make money.
Don't
So
put
that
too much merit in physical appearance.
Yeah.
Now, health is good. Like if she's healthy looking,
yeah,
then that's great. But don't put too much merit in that, because that's the distraction, bro. That's the banana in the tailpipe. I'm telling you,
You're right.
And then as humans, we always judge shit off of. So we can't really judge when we got to judge it off of physical shit, right? So we can't just run out and bash each other's head in. So we measure it off of sports a lot of times. And if you look at it, a lot of the top athletes, if you look at their mom, she's not a fucking Rihanna. She's not.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, let's be real. So it's obviously, and that's probably the thing that with these dog breeding, that people can't get it through their head how to breed dogs. It's not going to be the one with the prettiest face all the time, bro. It's not, you know.
Yeah. Well, we used to say
more.
We used to say when we were kids, or they used to tell us that if you want to know what your wife's going to look like, if you have a girlfriend, look at their mom.
Right.
And that'll tell you how she's going to end up. Their mom's all short and fat, you know. And it's kind of, you know, if you want to put it to the dogs, if you're just looking at a pet and you don't know anything about it, none of the individuals, including the dog you have in front of you, it's just a pretty pet. They're all pretty. They all look good. They all look nice. I've never told someone that shows me their pet, you got a shitty pet.
Right. They all.
I tell them, I tell them, I'm not familiar with, this is standard. I'm not familiar with the dogs up close, but they come from good dogs.
Right.
You could say that about any pet, because I don't want to be rude and say, tell me something. You don't know anything yourself. How am I supposed to tell you? But when I go back, which is not a lie, I can go back 4, 5, 6, 10 generations. I can tell you about them dogs. Some of them I seen in action. So, you know, looking at a pet without having any information on it it's nothing. It's like looking at a map, but you don't know how to read a map. So what good does it do?
Yeah. So what did I was just thinking of something. This is I like stirring it up. So the term pets don't matter. The term pets don't matter. Could that had it came from, let's just say, a guy that got a hella good bred dogs and they turned out to be trash? You know, because I always thought that the pet mattered, and that's why I'm saying this. But we can cook on it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of terms that people just say across the, you know, it's like a blank statement. So I always break it down. I always have questions. Why are you saying that? What does that mean? Have you ever thought about this? So the way I've explained it is, pets don't matter if the dog isn't any good.
Right.
If it's a good dog, the pet matters 100%. But what I think where it came from was people that were competitors, that as long as the dog, they could win with the dog, didn't matter how it was bred. And sometimes they didn't even know how it was bred and they didn't care.
Right.
Right. But that has nothing to do with breeding.
Right.
And a lot of these guys, everybody bred dogs, but not everybody. There's very few that are breeders and successful breeders. You can name them off the top of your head because that's who we talk about all the time. We talk about Boudreaux and Heinzel and Patrick and Carver and like that. And then the farther you try and think, you know, this and that, then the numbers, you can't think of any more guys. When there's thousands upon thousands of people that bred dogs and nobody knows who they are.
There's only a few that's talked about, man. You feel
Yeah.
me? And,
Yeah.
and them is the ones that they call peddlers.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe they was the ones that was peddling, you know.
And sometimes that's what it takes to leave your legacy, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were probably
Yeah,
the
nah,
ones who called other people peddlers too.
Right.
Oh, that guy's a peddler. Yeah.
Quiet.
Because they could do business. They didn't have to like each other. That's kind of how my wife is, is, to put it in some kind of context. If another woman, they're talking, they insult her or they don't agree with this and that, she's not the type, fuck you and just take off. She's in your face now. Now we're gonna talk. And that's the way them old guys were. They didn't particularly like that person, but they want them dogs. So
Right.
they're going to do business. And as soon as the dude would leave, that son of a bitch, that motherfucker, hey, he's a piece of shit, this and that. They talk about him, I've seen them do that over and over again. And they were just sitting there drinking beers together, talking dogs and shit.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I'm saying. What else is there? What else is there for Tom to do but motherfucking breed 1,000 dogs and put his feet up and pop out at a pig picking every year and get a tax write off? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't knock it. I just is that quality. So is that because a lot of people, although if you think you can get there, is some people, I'm sure somebody wants to build a Bulldog Hill one day, and probably name it.
They might
Bulldog
look at that
Hill.
as,
they want to somebody else, but they might.
Yeah, that's what
Bulldog Hill too.
Yeah, I think that's what Mayfield called Carver's Place. I think he wrote about it. I'm not sure if it was Mayfield's Place or I think it was Carver's Place. He called it Bulldog Hill.
Right.
He wrote about it and mentioned it in his videos. The pig picking is, I believe, that's Fat Bill's term.
Yeah. So that's we put that in the first mag that write up he gave me about that, about the first pig picking.
Mm-hmm.
So no, that's cool.
Yeah, and people, I mean, you call it plagiarism or whatever, but you can look at it however you want, but they just something that's recognizable and that people can relate to. But you always got, no matter what, it's like me. I got all this stuff I write about. I have to get credit to the people if I borrowed it from them, or if they taught me, or if I repeat what they say. I want because I understand that everybody learns from somebody else at some point. You get a lot, with hands-on and learning yourself, this and that, but you get information from others, and there's nothing wrong with that because nobody invented shit, unless you go back thousands of years. We're doing the same thing. When we make breedings that are successful, we're just repeating what someone else did, whether we realize it or not. It just works out that way because that's what worked best. So when we make the breeding and it works, it's because it's worked before.
What do you think about freedom of speech?
I think it's important. I look at it more like this. It's our God-given right to have freedom of choice. Now, a lot of people don't agree. A lot of people ain't religious or whatever. But that's the way I kind of look at things. Speech is part of it. And depending on where you live, you have that. It's mostly in the West, because in other places you don't have that. People don't even realize that there's certain things in other countries you can say and you can't say. And it ain't like you're going to get reprimanded. You could get killed for it. We don't have it so tough here like people think. And a lot of them people ain't never been nowhere else. When you see it somewhere else, then you understand the difference. Or you come from those places, they come to America, they'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. You know, I definitely believe that there's certain things that and I don't know, man, because I hear a lot of people say some, I don't want to say radical, but just some crazy shit. I hear a lot of people say a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, again, they don't realize it, but they say a lot more radical, crazy shit now than even in the 60s and 70s. It's a law. I don't know if they ever enforce it. But if you go out there and say, I want to kill this politician, whatever, that's against the law. You can't do that. People do it all the time. They don't just say, I wish he was dead. They say, if I had the chance, I'd kill him. Somebody ought to go kill that motherfucker. How much more freedom of speech you want? But there's consequences for your behavior, whether it's being arrested for something, or your peers or your opponents taking action against you, even if it's verbal, talking shit, putting you down, posting your shit up. You go back and forth like that. That's another downfall of social media. They're so quick to put stuff out there, you don't even know if it's true or not. And somebody's going to call you on it. So yeah, there's a lot of radical stuff. When I was a kid, real young, they still had signs in Arizona that said no Mexicans or dogs allowed.
Wow.
You know what asked my mom? I said, how come they don't like dogs? When I read that, that's what I asked my mom. How come they don't like dogs? I went right over the Mexican part because I'm Mexican, say, well, they just don't like us, whatever. But I was like, why are they against dogs? That changes. And a lot of this stuff that people complain about, they were never involved in it. They may be descendants of it, but a lot of the shit that they're complaining about was legal back then. Everybody was doing it. It was accepted. So you can chastise it. You can talk about it. You can say, we're the remnants of it, or we're still suffering from it. But we didn't have to live through it. And there was nothing you could do about it. Now you can do something about it. Back then, you just accepted that just the way it was. When I mentioned I started picking grapes or tomatoes at 8 years old, 1968. Even back then, it was segregation. Even after the desegregation laws had passed already. So you had people picking tomatoes. You had the Mexicans, you had the white people, and you had the black people. And my dad was the general manager of the ranch, so I could go. I could talk to the kids that are picking. These are young kids like me, picking grapes with their tomatoes with their families, and grapes too. But it was still segregated back then, just the way it was. They didn't interact with each other, didn't eat lunch with each other. I did. I'd go here and go there because my dad was a boss. But I didn't realize, other than, oh, that must be the way it is. I guess that's the way they do it. It didn't even faze me one way or the other. I wasn't old enough to understand, how come these people can't all work together in the same area,
Right. Yes, sir. Hey.
It kind of got off the track, but everything we talk about, even other stuff, it can be relatable to the dogs,
Well, no, that's why I'm here, because I see on this channel I just talk about whatever.
Right.
We cater to the dogs, but we just talk about whatever. But if I got a good one, what I'll do is clip them and slap it over there on the one. So if you just go there, I kind of want to turn that to just strict, but I don't want to limit myself, because we wake up in the morning, man. We want to talk about whatever,
Yeah. Well, while guys were out there doing their thing with the dogs, all this other stuff was going on at the same time too. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, I forget if it was, I think it was Harvard or Yale, Harvard or something like that. It was around when the pyramids were being built. If it's accurate that they were built 2,400 years BC, it's some college, anyways, a major college that's still being run, and that's how it is. This is happening at the same time this shit is happening. People are matching dogs. Kennedy got shot. You know, it's relatable.
Yes, sir. Hey, who's in the building? Todd Green, what up, man? Jabo, what up? Jabo, I know that ain't Jabo. I know that ain't my boy Jabo, man. What's going on? I hope it is. Man, let's get it in, man.
Mike Dan, what's up, Mike? Dickie Foster, that's my homie right there.
Yeah, you've been cooking, man, schoolboy. That channel been growing, man. I've been watching you.
Yeah, trying.
I've been watching.
Put out,
you. Got a lot of good
you know,
content.
content. Keep it going. I get help from people. They have this. In fact, I have so many that in my lifetime I'll never get them finished. I shit you not. If I live another 20 or 30 years, the topics I have, I'll never get to them all. I have to keep going back, you know, to a different book or two books back and pick up a topic and do it. Yeah, I enjoy it. People respond, you know. Lone Wolf.
Yes,
Jabo.
sir. Everybody smash that like button.
Yeah, support the channel, man. Subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Emmy James. That's my dude. You're right. That's the man right there. Yeah, it's a. I mean, that's a good topic. You know, what's a peddler, and you know, uh, everything that's involved with it. You know, where did it start? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with someone selling dogs. You know, if they got something behind them, because nobody will have no dogs if you know what I mean. Everybody got dogs from somewhere else. Even the original people who had dogs started pit bulls here, got them from Europe,
Yes,
and the
sir.
Europeans got them from somewhere else.
I
For
like
me,
to
they
say
had to
they.
come. They had to, you know, they had to come from. It began in ancient, you know, Mesopotamia and Sumeria and all that, because there's depictions of dogs fighting
Mm.
4,000 years ago. You have handlers and the dogs in hold, carvings and, you know, drawings, statues and shit from you know, war dogs, basically the mastiffs and the molossers back then. So we all know Africa, you know, that area influenced Europe. You just follow the dog from Sumeria, Mesopotamia to Egypt, from Egypt through the Greeks to Europe. The Europe's influenced the Greeks influenced the Romans influenced the British. You take dogs along the way and do what you do with them. It's not hard to trace it, but you got to do your research. You got to find out. Along with the fact that just about every culture on Earth had dogs that fought. You know, why would they not? We did it when we were young. without any knowledge of what anybody else did. You want to see who's the toughest dog on the block, and my dog could whip your dog, and my dad could whip your dad, and my brother's gonna beat your ass for picking on me, or whatever it is. That's just the nature of human being. So it's not nothing unique. It's just that the pit bull itself is unique. Ain't nothing else like it.
Yeah, they wanted to just take away every aspect of anybody having a dog in its original form. That's frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No
that's
matter
so
what
true.
you're doing, whether you're shooting a duck out the sky and letting your dog jump in the water to go fetch the duck, people are gonna have something to say about the dog abusing the duck.
Yep. Every single breed, you're exactly right. That's happened to.
You
They're
know,
show dogs, but they ain't working dogs no more.
I mean,
Yeah, that's taking all out of them. Not all of them, because there's still people that hunt and all that, but they're getting less and less because you have people complaining
yeah,
and
you're making it hard
like you
for those
said,
people to be able to keep their dogs, no matter
right?
what breed it is. You know,
Yeah,
so in modern day, that's why we enlighten people on this channel. You know what I mean? The Buck City provided us, and Schoolboy provided us, so we could start raising the minds of the people who are in the dogs. And
Right.
once you do that, then you start crafting and molding better individuals and they turn into the breeders of the next generation. And
yeah,
they're able to be able to see from example, from people like Schoolboy. Go back and listen to his stuff. People like Tom Gardner, you can go learn something just looking at his website, looking at some of his videos. You know what I mean? And it's all examples of people who bumped their heads in this. You know what I mean? Who's been in trouble, who's turned a new page in their life and had to switch things up. You know what I mean? To make it work for them. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, as long as it's an example, it might not always be perfect, but if there's an example to go by, you know what I mean? I think we're headed in a good direction, for sure.
well said.
Yes, sir.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
J83.
This is some of
What's up,
that. This is
brother?
some of that Mac sauce right here. Mac sauce about to, a little dose of that. You know, how you just put that little oomph in there, Schoolboy.
Oh yeah,
Not trying to take over the yard, but just give you a little something, just with a little oomph to it.
yeah, yeah. It's
That's
good
gonna
to
give us
add that,
heavy bolio.
and yeah,
You remember that
and like I
Mike Sundance stuff?
the
All that
Sundance.
Tonka tombstone stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, man. That was northern Texas and
That grand
certainly in
champion Mike Sundance.
Oklahoma. I don't remember that dog particularly, but man, there was so many dogs. The original Tombstone Red Baby, Tombstone quote slash Boleo was Tonka and Cremator and Champion Crash, Champion Snubby, all of
Mm.
them. They eventually went all over the place. They even went to Europe. They crossed that with the Fox stuff, which Fox was Boomerang's brother, and had that in England and the Netherlands, that area. So they were a good dog, but there's so many. A lot of them guys were proteges of Earl Tudor. So the Tombstone Heavy Dibo, and then the Red Baby or other Boleo stuff got some Black Widow in it, and that goes back to Dibo and all that. So you see Don Mayfield for sure, Jimmy Wimberly, Danny Burton, Don Maloney, Jim Usselton, and then you go down to Jeep Matt. Those guys were basically proteges of Earl Tudor. Then you have other guys from there: Gene Matson, Ronnie Anderson, Oklahoma Shorty. Tons and tons of dogs.
Yeah. So they real heavy on this Sundance dog.
Yeah, I see
Well,
it.
on this dog right here. So like
Yeah.
they was
Oh, there's
really concentrating on that
Sherwood.
shit.
Sherwood, that's another one. Tommy Sherwood.
Okay, okay.
That's another one of them guys,
That was
Oklahomans.
having all that. I have having all those Tonka
Yep.
Tombstone dogs.
Yep. Yep.
This one's heavy. This is Smiley.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
That's
he is.
crazy.
That's all it is.
That is crazy right there. You know.
Yep.
Yep. Tonka.
Yeah, he's a great producer. I saw a son of his named well, I've seen a couple, but in a match, champion Buck. I forgot who he beat. That was like an 83. I seen him win.
This little joker right here. Hey, a good guy. Good guys take advantage of good opportunities. This guy right here, he's gonna make somebody proud.
And Mr. Garcia, you said you seen Buck, champion Buck.
Yeah, not STP's Buck.
Hello?
This was yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
It wasn't STP's Buck. It was a little champion dog named Buck off of Tonka.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. He had about 12 or 13 champions. Some of them, they're not recorded, but
Tonka was no joke. I like that though.
yeah. Yeah. Little 33-pound dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're known for their gameness, intensity, it'll bring some fire to your blood, some heart if you lack in a little bit, They're not particularly hard-mouthed dogs, but they don't quit. And they're fast, They got finished. They smart.
Yeah, I noticed that the Tombstone side of it kind of packs the bone density a little bit better than the Bolio.
Yeah.
But that's my experience,
No, you're right. That's across the board because when you tight breed the Bolio, they get kind of thin boned,
Right.
So, and even if you don't, sometimes they're thin boned because he wasn't a particularly thick dog. But you breed Tombstone to Red Baby or any of that Daibo stuff to the Bolio stuff, it's going to increase the bone. Again, whether they realize it or not, that's what happened. Tonka himself, he was a little thick, he wasn't thin bone. So it had that effect.
Yeah, that boy right there. I like this dog. I always liked him. He was real nice back in his day.
Yeah. People think a lot of times they think they're OFRN because they're red nose, and they have some in it back there. They have Klaus blood in them through Red Baby and other stuff. But they're heavy Bolio, Black Widow, Daibo dogs, Very unique.
You deal with California Jack?
No.
He
wasn't around me when I was. What's that?
Oh, he must have came after.
No, not really. It's just that he didn't get around a lot,
Oh, I got you.
He was in a certain area, and I was all over the place, but I just never ran into him there. But I have people that did. I know they told me about. I just never knew him. In fact, one guy, I went to a dog show in Southern California. And this guy, he's talking to me, asking, how long you been around and this, what dog you had and this and that, who do you know and all that. And I'm telling him all this. He goes, I don't even remember you, I said, that's all right. I don't remember you either.
Right.
Who are you? You know, like.
Yeah.
But then he wanted me to read he wrote a book, you know, it was a small book. He wanted me to read it, let him know what I thought of it. So I read it real quick while I'm there and gave him a good review, you know.
Yeah.
It just, you know, California's so big and there's so many people involved. A lot of times you never go into a certain person, or you never even meet them, or you never even heard about them. But most of the guys that were doing stuff, I either went into them, or I was there, or they came to my house or something, you know. And sometimes through that you hook up and put a show together like that. But no, there's a lot of people. Just so much going on. You couldn't be in all places at once. You could have 4 or 5 different things going on the same day, and usually every weekend somebody was doing something somewhere, California.
Right.
And if you go, you know, up north or down south, it doesn't really get that hot. You know, it's more the down south. It's more kind of like tropical, you know. But up north, I think in the summertime it gets to about 80. You know, around the Bay Area and all that. It's never cold. They don't even not original, but houses that are 30, 40, 50 years old don't even have air conditioning. They don't have no AC. They don't have, you know,
Right.
uh, air conditioning or even heating.
Yeah, I don't got AC in my house.
Most you get
Yeah,
is
you
your
don't need
window
it.
unit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why Grandma wasn't playing when she said, "Don't open that door and let out my heat. I mean, my air."
yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We had a ton of them.
Wasn't no central AC.
No, yeah. I didn't get that till I bought my own house. Even the house I grew up in didn't have it. We never included it, you know.
I got the little joint on my room, but I'm telling you, it cools down here at night.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
that's the worst part about the heat for me, is that I can't sleep because I'm too hot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I'm awake, that's not gonna bother me too much. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in our room, we have a fan, you know, just a little stand-up fan. That thing's going almost 24/7,
Right, right.
cold or hot. We like air blowing, you know,
Yeah.
and a ceiling fan and shit. I don't know, kind of spoiled.
Circulate that air. It's good to have some
Yeah,
good circulated air, you know.
like that. That's the
That's
idea
good.
behind it. Yeah.
Like my
Yeah.
window in my little office, of course, I be smoking in here, but this window's been open for fucking, I mean, it got a screen on it, but I haven't closed this window for 3 months, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start closing it. It's, you know, the weather's changing, but
Yeah.
bro, I'm gonna let the air, you know, circulate, you know, all day, 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Even when I, you know, if I'm driving and I turn the AC on in my truck, I crack the window. I don't leave it all, you know. I gotta have air flowing. And I used to do that if I travel with a dog, whether the heater's on, whether the air conditioning's on, whatever time of year it is, I put the windows down a little bit. And it helps them not get car sick, and they get fresh air, and they just seem to settle down. Travel as late as night as you can, you know. Like if I was going to a spot down south and it's going to take several hours to get there, I'm going to leave late evening at night. So the dog just kicked back, laid down. That's the time he usually goes to bed anyways. I'm going to get to the destination, take him out, let him piss, put him up. He's going to fall asleep again. 'Cause I don't want no distractions. I don't want to break his routine. Kind of did it like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, you know it's always a good bulldog day. Check them chain spots, y'all.
Yeah, I just put a video up I had uh, about prepping for wintertime. Maybe people want to go check it out. There's some tips in there.
Yeah. Go
Hell, they're
check out the
probably doing
video.
it they're probably doing it anyways, you know, but I just put it up again.
Yeah. It's
Because
always good to
wintertime
have
is
good content, man. That's
yeah,
good
yeah.
content is out here. It's definitely out here. You can go check out. You know.
Much respect to you, Jabo. Thank you.
Let me check out this pad. Yeah, now it was you know, a lot of Bolio stuff, a lot of that Coca-Cola stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's heavy on that Bolio Jr., all those dogs.
All that. They're all good
Coca-Cola's
dogs.
all Bolio
Yeah.
Jr., La
Schoolboy
Bamba.
Bob, La Bamba,
Yeah.
even that Lyman's Fireball. She's down from Cremator, Crumb's Cremator. So that's more the Tombstone Red Baby.
Right, right.
We just mix it up, you know.
Coming through that's the Sorrel in there too, ain't it? Hold up.
I don't know.
The cremator. Oh no. That's
No,
oh, there's a
no
different one.
Cremator.
There's a different one.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, he's
Cremator
right.
was Tonka's sister.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And Crash.
And Crash.
So
Yeah,
that
and
Crumbs
there
Joe
was
Bob was the one to have.
yeah, right.
Hey man, this
I think
joke right here.
that one litter had 3 champions in it, 2-time winner, several winner. It had like 13 wins and 1 loss just from that one litter, including 3 champions: Tonka, Crash, and Snubby. Snubby was a best in show winner, and like I said, it's real consistent. You know, you get them that 50% litter you're talking about. You get a lot of those. You know. And hell, they halfway condition themselves anyways, you know. They're always running around on their chain or in the kennel, hoop-de-doos and jumping and shit. Take them off the chain and go 2 hours easy. Yeah, that's brother-sister breeding, Crash and Cremator.
Yeah, and I like that.
Hey, salute to the chat. I appreciate you for having me, Buck. Hey, I
Oh yeah, and I
appreciate the
appreciate you,
knowledge,
brother, for pulling up.
Schoolboy, man. Much love. I'll catch y'all
Yeah,
later.
we had that 2 hour. We
You're
had that
welcome.
2 hour. It's about that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Good talking to you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Have a
Yes,
Much
good
love.
one.
sir. Yeah, then they threw the snooty up in there. You know, this is
Yep.
good. This is good right here. Boomerang was getting around. I
Yeah,
see him
for not
popping up
being
in a
bred a
lot of
whole lot,
pits.
he got that blood got around.
Yeah.
Because again, he was just such a prolific producer. Probably every litter they got something out of it, you know. And of course, they crossed it with the Midnight Cowboy Shivo, and a lot of different people got it. You know, at the time, the Deep South was a hotbed for dogs, and everybody just about going to have some Eli stuff or some Boomerang stuff or some Boyle stuff. You know, Boyles used Eli himself, and he used Bolio heavy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this phone, I be so back and forth. It's getting that time every day. The world's moving. I guess it's gonna speed up this winter. The summer was kind of easy going, and I think this winter time's gonna speed up. It's gonna be a lot going on with this social media, people coming back inside, checking out videos. You know, it's gonna be a lot going on. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know what the
Uh,
hell happened.
let me see. And then so this dude, the Sundance Blood. You got a little bit of this Sin City in there. You got some Vice Script in there, which is loaded with more Coca-Cola blood too. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
Mason
real,
Champion
real
Hammer.
heavy on that.
Yeah, I saw some dogs off of that. That vice grip, people like it, man. I see it,
I
different
had one off
pedigrees
of
and
Duke
different.
Nukem a long time
Oh
ago.
yeah,
I had one off of
yeah,
Duke Nukem.
yeah.
It's good
I
to,
seen
see these
Poncho.
dogs.
In fact, I think me and Poncho lost to the same dog. So we
Oh
share
yeah.
that. I forgot. So yeah, I had to be around Vice Grip because I think we were on the same card at one point. Anyways, I lost to who was it? I lost to Mr. K, I think. And then on another show, I had a couple of dogs going, and Vice Grip had Poncho going, I think, and he lost to the same dog of Mr. K. I'm not mistaken. There's some kind of relation there where we went into the same guy or we lost to the same dog or some shit like that. So, yeah, I
Right.
was around him that one time. Yeah.
Okay, the caribou dog. Okay, that's the caribou dog is the one with the sorrel in there. So cremator's back there, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
caribou dog. I got those mixed up. But yeah, I figured something. I was like, damn. But so
Yeah.
this one will
Well,
be
Bull.
heavy on the cremator dog.
Yeah. Well,
And then bull.
Bull and Boleo are half brothers, but Bull is inbred on Zeke.
Right, right.
So both Bull and Boleo are off Zeke, but Bull is father daughter Zeke, I think.
So if you want that Fitzwater Goldie, that you know, what do you think was more desired out of the
The
let's
Black
say
Widow.
the Black Widow stuff, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Bait
So
Susie.
Carver's Goldie was a bigger draw than Klaus Zeke.
Well, uh, Goldie and Zeke are related, I think. The cross is Fitzwater's Goldie,
Okay, yeah, they
which
do that, yeah, because there's
yeah,
a lot of
which
those
is
lineages in there that
yeah.
Dibo mixed
It
up.
says Heinzel, but it's not Dibo blood. It's more Goldie is more Colby Leitner, I think.
Yeah,
It says Heinzel known for Dibo, but I think that was a cross that he used because him and Colby were buddies, and even towards the end, that's the only cross that Heinzel would use was Colby.
yeah,
But if you look at all of them, they're all the Boleo on the bottom side. It's all Black Widow and her sister too.
Jabo asked, was Black Widow cold?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I never got the breakdown on that. If she was cold, if they ever looked at her, if they just rolled her, whatever. I haven't been able to find out.
Mm.
But I have a picture of her and I think it's Gaboon Trahan, and but it's Cleon Boudreaux. It's Floyd Boudreaux's dad is in the picture with her. But I don't know what they. I'm curious about that myself. I never was able to find out. Maybe somebody else. But she's like, you know, she's one of my top 3 by far. Her and Honey Bunch and Dirty Mary are my top 3 females. But she would just so every litter she threw something. They even bred her to Klaus Zeke, and those dogs went to Mexico. So you won't really see those in pedigrees. A few of her
the dogs, man. There was a lot of them dogs.
Yeah. See, and you have Trahan's Rascal, who's off a bounce. So there's the connection to Daibo.
Right.
And then you have Black Widow she was bred to several different males, but they all produce, you know. She's bred to Little Rascal, she's bred to Kearns Lucky, she's bred to Daibo, bred to Spike, bred to Zeke.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a lot of that Williams blood he don't really get a lot of credit, but it got to the point where, you know, when he was back in the day, he tried different bloodlines and he eventually gave up on them and went back to his own stuff. He was trying to acquire his own blood.
Yeah, but then they'll just say this is the Daibo blood, though, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
3/4 Williams.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, he's the most decorated one in the ped. I mean, if that matters.
Yeah.
Because
everything in there has, yeah.
And then
everything in there has him in it.
Winner, which is Black Shine. So,
right.
I guess that's how you get the popularity vote. You know.
Yeah. Several champions. You know, several even dogs that, you know, have their bloodline named after. Like Black Widow is kind of a bloodline. You know, you have Daibo Black Widow, Spike Black Widow, Zeke Black Widow, Lucky Black Widow. Depending on who has them, that's what they call them.
Right.
And then, of course, you got, you know, he produced White Rock and Buck and Spike and Cracker and all kinds of dogs.
Yeah, now these dogs, she was able to move around, man. She was able to, you know, this is healthy for a female. No, this is healthy. And they wasn't just breeding her to jump. You know, there wasn't no, like, just to breed to this bitch, you got to be, I mean, it's obvious, right?
Yeah, that's why they stole her.
Like,
that's why she was stolen 2 or 3 times, you know.
You know, this Womax, you know, this Womax Lucky might have been, but he's the old family.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's like, shit, you're not just breeding anything, and he had to be something. Let me see. Okay. So yeah, he might have been the trashiest dog that they bred to her.
No, that was no, he produced different dogs from different females. No, you're right. They were all like top dogs, you know, top dog man.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted her. She went back and forth. Different stories. Who knows what's true? But different people had her. You know, Trahan had her, and Boudreaux had her, and Carver had her. Tudor had her.
It's crazy
And
how
again, her sister too.
it's crazy how just flipping down, like depending on where you go, where you flip to, you know, you could go in a whole nother world with these dogs. Like we
Yeah.
over here in Mayfield. He done got his hands on some shit,
Yeah.
you know, and turned that line, because that, remember, that line wasn't really, well, they put a lot of stuff on here, so we can't just assume that it's not on here, you know, especially if it's this old, right?
Yep.
So hypothetically speaking, you know, they took that shit back to the Trey Hands Rascal dog, and then Mayfield got his hands in it. I don't know if he bred this dog or not. Oh, it says breeder. You know, that sometimes that's, well, yeah, he owns the bit, so we'll give him the breeding that he took that shit to the right direction. You got to give him that that much credit,
Right.
right? Because he could have went any direction, and then
Yeah.
Lightning 2, 4-day Tuffy. Yeah, it's interesting just to see. And then Cooper gets it, Blackjack.
Yeah, that Lightning too. That's probably the only or one of the few, besides Weldon Stockton stuff, which is Carver stuff, crosses that Mayfield used. His dogs were heavy Dibo, heavy Alligator, and Cleo, and 3 Black Diamond. All them dogs were all heavily related.
Right. Yes, sir. Hey, man, it's been a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I can't lie about that. It's been a good one. We talked about the negative connotation.
Right.
About breeders, everything. We're looking at it from what it is, who gets a pass, who gets to do it, who doesn't. You know, what's the definition of a peddler? You know, can you really analyze that many dogs? You know, I mean, what's the threshold? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if that's the case, then Walmart should just get in the dogs, you know, and then
Yeah.
they could ship them. They could ship them to your house and everything. You know, it could just be like a factory.
Yeah. If there was money in it, they'd do it.
Right.
Probably ain't no money in it for them, you
know. Hey, man. Hey, give us something before you go, Schoolboy. Let them know what you got coming up.
Okay. Yeah, more vids. I got my 5th book I'm working on. It's going to be a picture book. It's going to have some rare pictures in it that very few people, if any, have seen. You know, I got my registry going. That's going hot and heavy. Got other books, sticks, t-shirts. Sometimes on different chats. You know, I love coming on Buck's show. It's always a good time. Got good topic, good combo. And I just wish everybody the best. Thanks for having me on, brother.
I appreciate you, Schoolboy.
All right, brother. Take care.
Yes, sir. Hey. You know how we do, man, all the time, man. Appreciate everybody that pulled up, smashing that like button, subscribe button, everything. Tomorrow we're gonna unveil the cover to the APBT Magazine Volume 3. We getting that joint up and out of here, right? We getting them up and out of here. That's why I'm cutting this short. I know we could just keep cooking, dropping them, and keep cooking for 2-3 more hours, but those are gonna be the hours I'm gonna be digging in, you know, making that platinum creamery. You dig? Salute everybody in the chat. And we out of here.
Provide for your families, a bad thing. I guess I'm gonna be bad forever. It's real. Yeah. Doesn't make me a bad guy, 'cause I can't get a job and my family's hungry. Am I a bad guy? 'Cause I'm hustling daily and I'm trying to eat. So that makes me a bad guy. And I know that it's wrong, but it's feeling too right. I'm a bad guy, 'cause if getting money's wrong, I don't wanna be right. I got a felony, it's hard to get a job now. Plus I got a family I need to provide for, that I'll die for, give up an eye for. And why settle for 3 when you can have 4? Or why settle for less when you can have more? I'm trying to own my own corner, build my own store. With bread like bakery, niggas hating me. And I keep the heat, get it in the first degree. Can't get hired, so I'm forced to rob niggas. And if getting money's wrong, well I'm the wrong nigga. And plus I got mouths to feed, trying to have a big house, a few balconies. I'm a whole key, you ain't even an ounce to me. So stop trying, you're never gonna amount to me. Doesn't make me a bad guy, 'cause I can't get a job and my family's hungry. Am I a bad guy? 'Cause I'm hustling daily and I'm trying to eat. So that makes me a bad guy. And I know that it's wrong, but it's feeling too right. I'm a bad guy, 'cause if get money's wrong, I don't wanna be right. If my pocket's empty, I'ma rob something. I'ma beat you like you stole something, and wouldn't let a nigga hold nothing. Get money, that's the only subject. And I take a nigga's whole profit. You got more, I'ma take yours. In your car if it's some force, I pull kick doors. And way before we had a black president, I was taking TVs out your residence. And I can't get a 9 to 5, but I keep a 9 on my side and you can catch 5. And I got a whole 9 and I move like 5. I-5 in my 15 to 8. It's a 8:45, I'm pushing that weight. Always be late, but I'm on time, getting that cake. Try to jack me, bang right in your face. No, that's a one-way ticket to the pearly gates. Doesn't make me a bad guy, 'cause I can't get a job and my family's hungry. Am I a bad guy? 'Cause I'm hustling daily and I'm trying to eat. So that makes me a bad guy. And I know that it's wrong, but it's feeling too right. I'm a bad guy, 'cause if get money's wrong, I don't wanna be right. I got a felony. Some cardio, knock them coins at you like you Mario. Pull up on a jet ski, shoot at your party boat. I'm a gangster, I do shit you probably won't. Look, I do shit you probably can't. For real. Get you whack when I'm out of state. When I'm OT. Blood in the seat, they indicate. Finish them off with a 38. Bang. I'm not playing with him, put some bullets in him. Tried to run, I left some bullets in his denim. Yeah, I told him, please don't play with him. If I catch you riding with your homie, you'll get sprayed with him. Ski mask on, but I don't ski. Use it for drills and doing robberies. Another body found on Halloween. Don't argue with me, 'cause you'll get popped for what I believe. It feel like forever I've been doing dirt. Yeah, drop his top like he in a vert. And when them bullets hit you, nigga, it'll probably hurt. I'm at these niggas next, Charlie Kirk. Bang! I'm not playing with him, put some bullets in him. Tried to run, I left some bullets in his denim. Damn. Yeah, I told him, please don't play with him. If I catch you riding with your homie, you'll get sprayed with him. Bang! I'm not playing with him, put some bullets in him. Tried to run, I left some bullets in his denim. Damn. Yeah, I told him, please don't play with him. If I catch you riding with your homie, you'll get sprayed with him. You'll get sprayed. sprayed with them. You'll get sprayed with them.